Yes, people, I remember when I started the gym, I was this like waste of space in a way. I just kept doing bad things. I kept like sleeping 2 hours a night. I kept going on my phone. I kept wasting time on TikTok. I kept just eating all these bad foods. I remember I used to eat until like I'd get to a point where I wanted to throw up. Well, I just eat so much just shit. I'd eat pizza, chocolate, I'd eat cookies, no matter what it was. I just eat it just for the sake of it. And hi, my name's Keita. 2 years ago, I started the gym. And from that point to now, I've been able to just make insane progress. I've been able to change the whole perspective of life. I've been able to just feel completely different, not even feel like who I used to be. I know when you start the gym, how lonely it is, how difficult it is to get started, to make that first progress and to go to that first session and just become someone new. And I want to help you through that. So click the link in the description now to get my free coaching. At the start of my gym journey, it was hard. I was doing all these bad things. I weren't sleeping enough. I was eating bad food, and I was just consuming bad stuff like TikTok, like video games. I was just doing that a lot, and it just didn't help at all. And I remember just like feeling so emotional that I couldn't make the progress that I wanted. I was in the gym. I was training hard every day. I was burning my muscles. I was like actually going for it. I was actually trying for something first, and I didn't get any results for it. I didn't progress at all. I was stuck in that same way. I weren't doing anything good. I was just there, just trying each week, and nothing was happening. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was bad luck. I thought it was bad genetics. I didn't realise how important recovery was. I didn't realise how important things like sleep were in that routine. So I just carried on like this for a long while, just doing no sleep, hard training, but no sleep. And then I remember there was a switching point for me. I remember my brother sort of explaining sleep to me a bit, and he's saying just like how good it was. And I dismissed it. Like I heard it, and you hear it online all the time. Like you've got to sleep 8 hours a night, and you sort of hear it like, yeah, sure, and then move on. And I did that again. I moved on. But I remember it just kept like parroting, it kept repeating like this importance of sleep. And then I heard like respected people talk about their sleep. I heard people who I liked. I heard Joe Rogan and like MMA fighters talk about their sleep, talk about how important their sleep is for them. And I remember this was like the switching point. This is a point where I decided I'd got to actually do things like sleeping right. When I started that, like I started to get more energy. And I feel that's quite an obvious one. When you sleep more, you're gonna wake up more energy. You're gonna wake up and feel better. And I didn't realise how much better you can generally feel. As when you're on those like 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep, you feel awful. And if you've had 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep like for so long, you don't even realise how good 8 hours is. You don't even realise, I didn't even realise how good it was to sleep 8 hours. And now I'm at a point where like I can't do the 2 hours, as the quality of life at the 2 hours is so low compared to if I'm sleeping for like 6 to 8 hours. So I changed it all. I started sleeping more, and I saw progress in the gym through this. I found out that when you sleep, your muscles build. It's not when you go to the gym. At first I was really confused. I was like, that doesn't make sense. But when you go to the gym, you break your muscles down. Like when I'm doing bicep curls, I'm tearing the muscle fibers, I'm tearing my muscle. And then when I sleep, that's when it builds back up. That's when it builds back up, and it builds back up bigger. So your goal in the gym is to rip your muscle, to tear them. That's what you're meant to make them burn. But the real goal, the real thing you want is to gain muscle. And to do that, you have to sleep. You have to sleep well. Because the more sleep you have, the more like time your body has to build the muscles back. It's going to build them back bigger. So the more you sleep, the more you're actually benefiting your muscle growth. Once I realised the sleep, I started sleeping. And I started realising that there's actually a benefit that I want for sleep. And that's big muscles. More sleep equals big muscles. And that's sort of the equation in my head. I started sleeping, and I started getting my 8 hours. I didn't realise another thing that was holding me back. I didn't realise the thing, probably the biggest thing, that was putting me and keeping me down and not progressing as much as I wanted. And it was the clean diet. It was just the diet I had at the time. I remember back then, what I used to eat, what I used to consume was like the pizza. It was like the chicken nuggets. It was like the cookies or the crisps. I remember never feeling good like that. I remember never having the energy I wanted when I consumed all these foods. Then I switched. I remember the switch started gradually. I started adding the healthy foods. I started adding the eggs. I started adding like the meats, the chickens. I started to add these in my diet. I started to eat more of these, eat more of the vegetables. And I remember the significance this had, the change it had. I was with one of my friends once. We both went up to the gym. He ate the bad foods, I ate the good foods. And we were both at the same strength. Within 2 months' time, I want to say he was doing about 26 kg on like dumbbell chest press, and I was on about 32s, maybe even higher than that. And I remember this was over like 2 months. I remember I just saw him, I just left him in the dust, and he was saying that it's my genetics and whatnot. But I know it was the food that I ate. As the food that I ate helped my recovery as well, as all the good nutrients help build your muscles and help make you bigger and stronger. So that's why recovery is so important. And when I learned this, I realised it was a cheat code that no one does. It's a thing that no one realises. I got ahead of all my competition when I ate the good foods, and when that helped me become in shape. So my tips to you: get the 8 hours of sleep, start eating clean foods, and you're really going to see the progress in the gym. You're really going to get bigger and get to the size that you want. So again, click the link in the description now to get free coaching. But apart from that, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.